The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Carl Jung. Hardest thing anyone can do is become the best version of themselves. Most opt out or give up at some point on the journey. What do we mean when we say become ourselves? It's quite peculiar. Are we not us in this moment? Well, most of us aren't. Most of us identify solely with our personas, that mask we wear to the public and never reveal what's behind the mask, even to ourselves. Modern men and women, some in full, some in part, associate themselves with their jobs, activities, and idiosyncrasies. We are much, much more than that. Seldom do we realize that our minds are vast and expansive universes in and of themselves, waiting to be traveled, explored, challenged, and supported. We should look at our unconscious mind and the process of fully realizing and becoming our authentic selves as a technology. We have no idea what is waiting to be unlocked in the depths of the unconscious mind. Is it possible that deep exploration, revelation, integration, and any form of improvement of the conscious mind through unconscious mind excavation unlocks new aspects of and better modes of being within oneself? If this is the case, then fully realizing yourself is quite literally technology. As the more you uncover, the more capability you possess. This is more important than ever in the era of AI and the potential for a vast paradigm shift in how humanity operates. I will get to that later. For now, let's discuss how does one fully uncover one's authentic self? Realizing the self, individuation. Carl Jung, famous psychologist and founder of the analytical school of psychology, proposed the idea of psychological individuation. This is the process of becoming all one can be by integrating all unconscious aspects into the consciousness, becoming uniquely oneself, and achieving psychological wholeness. He identified that the first step to individuation is to shed the false wrapping of the personae, the mask we wear to the public. Our persona is a sliver of who we are, yet it is what we reveal to the world as the self. Persona are the aspects of the ego that we tend to associate with. Things like our jobs and culturally relevant titles that people understand and can nicely drop into categorical buckets of understanding. The ego is part of the conscious mind and is what we call self. The ego is the center of the field of consciousness, which contains our conscious awareness of existing and continuing sense of personal identity. The top of the model demonstrated here nicely depicts what I briefly stated. The unconscious mind is vital to individuation and learning to accept and integrate its message into the conscious mind. The unconscious aspects are more challenging to articulate, so I will use the Dark Knight as a model for explaining each of these. Consciousness, persona. Bruce Wayne's public persona as a carefree billionaire, playboy, starkly contracts his true self. Persona is a mask he wears to protect his identity and to keep his mission as Batman hidden. Ego. Bruce Wayne and Batman represent the ego, the conscious mind that mediates between the inner world and outer reality. He is constantly juggling his personal desires, his duty to Gotham, and the ethical dilemmas that arise from his dual life. His ego is a central point of his identity, striving for balance and coherence amidst the chaos. Now, moving to the unconscious, the shadow. The shadow is the aspect of the unconscious mind that contains the dark parts within us, which we fear to integrate into our personalities. The Joker perfectly embodies Batman's shadow, representing the dark, turbulent forces that Batman fears and suppresses within himself. The Joker's chaos and disregard for the rules mirror the repressed aspects of Batman's psyche, particularly the anger and potential for violence that he must keep in check to avoid becoming like the criminals he fights. Anima and animus refer to the unconscious feminine characteristics of a male and the masculine characteristics of a woman. Rachel Dawes can be seen as Bruce Wayne's anima, the feminine aspects of his psyche that provide emotional balance and connection. She embodies his human side, and offering love, compassion, and a moral compass. Her death in the film is a pivotal moment that deeply affects Bruce, highlighting the importance of the anima in his psychological makeup. The self. The overarching narrative of The Dark Knight can be seen as Batman's journey towards individuation, integrating the different aspects of his psyche to achieve a more complex sense of self. This is evident in his struggle to reconcile his identity as Bruce Wayne with his role as Batman and his moral battles with the Joker, forcing him to confront and integrate his shadow. While this isn't a perfect science, and I know the Jungian model is not and will not be the last model proposed for fully integrating oneself completely, Jung struck a chord many years ahead of his time. The capability to maintain a strong mental and psychological composure and embark on the journey of individuation will pose a necessary tool for the remaining time of the 21st century. When the question, what does it mean to be human? And what does that mean for our future? Is inevitably forced upon us all by the technological improvements happening rapidly, best chance of understanding is by continuously aiming to make ourselves whole, harnessing the power of the unconscious mind. Why this is the most important it's ever been. I woke up this morning and planned on continuing a piece I've been working on. The piece I've been writing is about the idea of what our lives would look like if AI did end up taking most of human jobs. Where would humans end up finding meaning? As I cleared my inbox, all my attention was drawn and captivated by a written piece called Night Season from Frederick Gishin. It was an excellent piece, highlighting something similar to what I've been writing about in this piece. One must explore the depths of oneself no matter where it takes them, not forcing oneself into continuing something because others demand it, shedding the mask in pursuit of your full potential. This is inevitably part of the answer to the question of what humans do if AI took all of our current jobs. It allows us to fully invest in and follow our personal evolution, explore our darkness, red, unconscious, and become a more whole, well rounded, and complete individual. The question is difficult to answer, but it's possible everyone will look this question in the face soon enough. This is the question driving the AI piece that I am currently writing. If your finances were worked out for the rest of your life and you managed to maintain your current standard of living, would you care if you lost your job? Would you worry about losing your job if those other considerations were true? Our jobs, in large part, are what most of us identify with. The personas have become us. So losing a job is like losing oneself, which is a brutal awakening for most. What if we voluntarily chose to individuate collectively, shed the persona, and try to become all that we can be? The thing is, we don't know the upper limits to that. What is possible if we continue excavating our unconscious minds daily, constantly persist through the struggle to find what our minds have stored for us, the gold waiting to be claimed if we can conquer the dragons guarding it? 5 to 10 minutes of daily individuation journaling has felt like putting myself on an exponential growth curve. I certainly would not be where I am without it. Though difficult, a hopeful version of the future includes this becoming a daily practice, aiming to transcend the human psyche for the individual and the collective. How have I done this, practically speaking? Is mostly through journaling, dream interpretations, and active imagination. I actually have set up a Google form, which I created an automated script to send myself daily automated emails so that I could check in and explore trends within my emotions and actions based on the previous day. I also do dream interpretations, which has been tremendously helpful in trying to understand the depths of my unconscious mind. I've been using ChatGPT to be my dream interpreter, thought partner. Discussion is essential here, and anything that I discover that is worth diving into, I write about and or discuss with my wife. Night Season served as a good reminder. This newsletter and YouTube channel evolution is not entirely up to me. Writing is the deepest form of thinking. I write about emerging technologies and innovative ideas because through exploring my mind, it feels like the path I need to walk. I don't know how long and how deep that path goes, but I know that as I allow myself to manifest in the world, this is where I've landed, a strong sense of conviction. In my piece, The Exploring Agent, which I will eventually do a YouTube video on, I wrote that I want to make this a top 10 tech newsletter and a top 100 podcast. The aim feels necessary, and I believe I will attain it, which is probably strange to say as someone with 61 subscribers. Something about the constant excavation of the mind tells me that this dream of mine is an inevitable part of my future, that this is, while difficult, a dragon that will be conquered through my exploration. Whether I like it or not, I will get there. Along the way, I will make mistakes and struggle. Still, I will always aim to put out pieces of art that are uniquely me. That after you finish reading and listening, your brains will dance with ideas and feelings of inspirations will flourish from the beauty I hope to put into the world. You might be here for my writing on Web3, crypto, artificial intelligence, or technology. You may be here because you like the way I write, the way I think, the way I speak, or the way I put all of it together to make art. One thing is certain. I have a general idea of where I'm going. I know where I want this to land, and I have a vision, and I hold it with high conviction. Path there is not 100% certain. I hope that you enjoy the ride, and that even if every single written piece, every single YouTube video, it's not exactly your domain of interest, it's not something you agree with, and all of them don't strike a chord with you. As a community, I hope that we can all be better from it in some way or another. Hope you become genuinely you, and this newsletter and YouTube channel can help in whatever way that looks like for you. If you enjoyed and I found this beneficial, please subscribe and join the exploration on the frontier. And if you want to check out the source material and get access to it before it comes onto YouTube, then check out the link in the bio where I post these written pieces written pieces for which YouTube videos are derived onto Substack. And see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.